Hey guys, what's up? It's Hailey Eliza. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me before my exam. I have an AP Art History exam today that I'm going to fail. Like, it's inevitable. So yeah, let's just get right into this get ready with me because my camera's going to die. I'm just gonna get started right away because my skin looks like trash. I don't really know why my skin has been looking so bad here lately, but it has. Yeah, I've been eating kind of trash, but I haven't really been eating that much dairy. I've been washing my face. I've been drinking a lot of water actually, but it still looks really bad. I'm hopeful that it's just like stress and that like once summer starts, like it'll get better because I'm not loving this situation. And by the way, I'm starting with my Tarte Shape Tape. This one's almost empty. I have two that I'm using, and I'm just scraping the very inside of it and just kind of putting a little bit over my blemishes just to start, just so I can get some additional coverage. And rather than blending that in with like a beauty blender or something, I feel like that takes away from like that picks up product. I'm just gonna blend it with my finger. And then I'll go in and blend my foundation with my beauty blender. Now I'm just taking my Fenty foundation. This is in the shade 190, if you were wondering. I love this foundation. It's honestly so freaking good, especially since my skin has been looking especially bad. I've been loving it. So today I have my AP Art History exam. So basically for AP classes, you take like a state administered exam, or not really administered, but like a state exam that tells you whether you get college credit or not. I have like 3 weeks of school left, so it's like my first exam because I didn't have milestones, but I'm gonna fail. It's basically inevitable, but I just kind of felt like filming a little get ready with me this morning, even though my exam is at 12, but I have to be there between like 11:30 and like 11:45. So it's like 8, it's almost 9 now, so I have time. Basically, the reason I know I'm going to fail the exam is because AP Art History, so this year I took AP Art History. I don't really know why I took AP Art History, quite honestly. I mean, I like art and I find it really interesting actually, so that's why I took it. And I thought it'd be like a decent AP class. I heard that it was hard, but like doable, which was a lie. No, just kidding. But, so I took AP Art History and I was like, oh, I think this will be like a cool class. Like, it'll be fun. I'll like have it's a second AP class because I'm taking AP World too, and like it'll be good. And then the teacher was a teacher that I'd never had before, but she also taught gifted English, and I heard really good things about her, and she seemed like a really like sweet person. So I was like, oh, and like I wouldn't mind having like a really like sweet, like cute teacher. Like, she just seemed really nice. And since I didn't take any APs last year, I kind of wanted to like have 2 at the end of this year, because it would have been nice to like have 2 like college credits by the end of this year. This foundation is so good. It's like really good at covering up. I don't know what you guys can see. These lights are really harsh, so like normally it looks more covered up, but in like natural light it just looks really like nice on my terrible looking skin. Shoot, I just opened someone's Snapchat on accident. How do I even do that? How do you open a Snapchat on accident? Now I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Just gonna go ahead and conceal because you can still see some of my blemishes, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But anyway, so I took AP Art History, thinking that, you know, this will be good and be a fun time. And then my teacher, like, probably around Christmas, just kind of stopped showing up. And that was awesome. And so then for basically, it was probably like a little bit before and then like after Christmas, she just like she like stopped showing up. Like, she'd come like maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week if we were lucky, and she just like didn't come. And I think that she was having family issues or something. I mean, I don't really know, they haven't really told us anything, but she just kind of like stopped showing up to school. And whenever she was at school, she didn't really teach us, we just kind of watched videos. So that was a great time. She stopped showing up to school. Basically, like, the administration at my school was just like pretending like it wasn't happening, like every morning. Like sometimes like they wouldn't even have like a sub for us because they didn't realize she wasn't going to be there. And so then one of the other teachers who like didn't have a class during that period and had like a planning period would like just come and like sit with us, because like what else were they supposed to do? And she didn't really like ever leave work for us or anything, and so the teachers didn't really know what to do with us. And then after a while of her like not showing up, I guess somehow they decided that she was gonna go on like a 2-week hiatus. By the way, I'm setting my face with my Too Faced Born This Way powder. During her little like 2-week hiatus that she was going to take, we were basically like, the plan was originally is we were gonna like FaceTime, essentially FaceTime, like a teacher who taught at a different school, and we would just like learn with her class, because she had a first period AP Art History. Also, the thing about AP Art History is that like no one teaches AP Art History. Like, it's not just like a normal class like English where like anyone can sub, because like chances are any substitute teacher like speaks English, like, you know what I mean, and like knows something about English or can like lead an activity about English. But AP Art History is not really like that. You kind of have to like know what you're talking about and have studied it, and it's not just something you can't just like walk into a classroom like. And like most subs don't just like walk into a classroom and know stuff about AP Art History. I mean, I guess it was probably just easier for them to pretend like nothing was happening than like find an actual good sub. Now I'm going to do my bronzer. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer. So yeah, so she went for her little 2-week hiatus, and basically like the whole like FaceTiming the teacher didn't really work. They tried like 3 different things. It just wasn't working. So like the first like 3 days of whenever she was just like gone, like there was literally just like a teacher sitting in there. We had like a permanent sub. She was an English teacher who hated our class, and she would just like sit in there, and we would just essentially have nothing to do. Like the other sub, like, or the other teacher at the other school, she would like send us like note sheets, but like we didn't really know what we were doing. And then the sub, like our permanent sub who was like sitting in the classroom, would get so mad at us. She like accused us of manipulating her, which was actually, not gonna lie, was really funny, because like we weren't manipulating her. She was just like, I don't know, it was really funny. We weren't manipulating her. We were just like hoping someone was gonna teach the class. Like we were all just like, okay, so it'd be cool if like someone would teach us. After a few days, they kind of got it worked out where we could like listen in on the teacher's classroom, and we could like see her PowerPoints. We couldn't really see her. And AP Art History, you have to like have a teacher in the room, because the thing is, like, if I'm like standing in front of a projector and I'm like talking, like I want to be able to like point out the different symbolism, but like she couldn't really do that, because, and like whenever she'd be like talking about symbolism, she'd be like, oh, you see like the little dove in like the right corner, and we'd all kind of be like, no, but she would just keep talking because like she couldn't really like point things out to us. The substitute teacher who was in there also, like, the teacher would like ask us questions and be like, oh, like, do you know what I'm talking about? And all of us would be like, no, but then the sub would say yes. I'm not really sure how that happened, but it happened a lot. I'm going to do my blush. I'm using the Tarte blush, a Tarte blush, it's like this. And then I've been really liking using like a Kabuki foundation brush. This is the Morphe Y6 for my blush. I don't know, I've just been liking a really like blushed look. But back to the story. So I basically like went and talked to the administration like about the fact that we didn't have a teacher and that we weren't learning, and I like voiced my concerns like multiple times. And basically the teachers, they were just kind of like, oh, like, we'll work it out. Did they? No. And so then those 2 weeks went by. We honestly learned like a decent, despite it being difficult to learn, we learned like a decent amount during those 2 weeks, because we went from having a teacher who like wasn't really there enough to teach, and whenever she was there, she'd kind of just play videos, to like a teacher who was like teaching, and she really knew what she was talking about. Like she was like the best teacher in the county, and also she would like have extra like study groups for us. Like she had like 3 extra study groups, and those were honestly so helpful. I went to like 3 of them, because she had 3 of them, and they were really helpful, and I learned a lot while I was with her. Like that's probably where I got most of like my knowledge from, and that's where I met my ex-boyfriend. So that was a good time. But then after the 2 weeks, well, we took the teacher's test, which was so hard, and I feel like at that point we kind of all realized like how like far behind we were, because like our tests had not, like this teacher was so hard. I mean, she was a great teacher, but her class was so hard. Like my ex-boyfriend, like they learned so much, and like they had to go to like museums and do all sorts of extra things, and like she's a really good teacher, but she's a very hard teacher. And I guess kind of like at that point, like I kind of realized like how far behind we were, because like if they did this with every unit, like we did this with like 1 unit. I feel like I might have went heavy on the blush, or maybe not, maybe it just looks like that in the camera. And so at that point we're kind of all like, so yeah, like we know nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and bake the sides of my nose and my like under my contour right here. She came back from her 2-week like break, and she still like wasn't very consistent in like coming. Like she still, like she came 3 times a week at this point. Like I'll give her that. Like she came like a consistent 3 times a week, which was like impressive, you know, but still not really enough whenever there's 250 images that you have to learn about, considering we were so far behind. So she came back and kind of just pretended that we had been learning the whole time. And I was a little confused. I wasn't gonna do eyeshadow, but now I'm just enjoying sitting here talking to the camera, so I'm going to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prime my eyes with this Urban Decay primer potion. So she actually started like teaching somewhat. She still wasn't there like that much, but I mean, it was better. She's like, she would actually stand in front of the class and teach, but we were still like, we know so few images. But for those few weeks, she kind of like would teach and, you know, make a valiant effort. There were still days whenever she wouldn't show up and we just watch videos, especially recently again. The entire class, like we all know we're going to fail the AP Art History exam. And like the one teacher who like would come in for us a lot, because she had like a free period and she was on the English hall, which is where we were. She like for the past couple of days has been coming in like every day, and she's been like, no, like you guys aren't gonna fail. Like she's like, you've been learning in all your other classes like how to do it, and like blah 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 blah. And we're all just kind of like, no, like don't even lie to us, like we know we're gonna fail, like it's just inevitable. Because the thing about AP Art History too is like studying on your own for that class is so intimidating, especially whenever you don't have like a study guide or something. I look so crazy because my like fake. Whenever you have 250 images and you've done barely any of them, it's so intimidating to like you don't even know where to start. Like I have a book that I've been like going through like somewhat, but like it's so intimidating, and it's just like there's 250 images and I feel like I've learned so little. Sitting here talking about this is making me more stressed out, honestly. Great. Also, I'm using my Naked Heat palette. I love this palette to the moon and back. It's my favorite palette. I've been using it like nonstop. And like the thing is, like I'm in another AP class, and like my AP World teacher, like he is the best AP World teacher. Like I'm not even kidding. Like he is such a good teacher. Like he's so organized. He like, we've been prepping for our exam, which is like next week, for like months. And like he's such a good teacher, and I'm like, he's one of my favorite teachers. He's just so good at teaching like an AP class, and for an AP class, like you need a good teacher. Like you can't have like a halfway decent teacher. Thing is, like yesterday, my AP World teacher, like he laid out like exactly like what's gonna be on the exam and like how long like each writing portion is gonna be. And like yesterday, my AP Art teacher, and yesterday, my AP Art History teacher wasn't there. And I think that just really like puts icing on the cake, quite honestly, the fact that she wasn't there the day before the exam. You could have showed up before the day before the exam and been like, okay, like guys, like good luck, like here's what to expect, like here's what you need to bring. Like I'm so happy my AP World teacher like talked about like what I need to bring and what to expect, because well, kind of what to expect because it's like different, but like I would have no idea. Like I've like never taken an AP class before, and I feel like maybe they assume whenever you take AP Art History you have, but your girl has not, and so that just makes this all a little bit more stressful. And we've had like my grade in that class, like we've taken like 3 tests. We have 1 test in, like I have like a 92, but we have 1 test in, And so like the thing is, my grade, like if she puts those other 2 tests in and I got like zeros on them, like my grade can change at the end of the year and there can be nothing I can do about it. And I'd like to keep my decent GPA. So I'm just like, I don't know, I don't even know what to do. I'm like stressing, but I'm also like realizing that like there's literally nothing I can do. I'm using this ColourPop eyeshadow. It's like a little pink eyeshadow. It's from Laura Lee's like collaboration with ColourPop. It's in the shade Glitz. I really, really like this. The thing about AP exams too is they are expensive. Like I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm taking 2, so I don't know if they're $100 each or if together they were $100, but they're like 100 plus. Especially if you have like multiple AP exams, like they're not cheap. And so it's gonna suck whenever I waste 3 hours of my life, 3.5 hours, according to one of my friends, I thought it was 3, taking that AP exam, waste like $50 to like $100 taking the exam, like, and then I'm also like, you don't really go to school the day that you take the exam, so I'm missing school too. So I'm gonna have stuff to like make up, even though not that much, so that's good. Now I'm just using my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencil. Is this the broken one on the ground? Shoot. Oh no, it's not. Did it break? Frick, I think it broke. I feel like moral of the story, do not take AP Art History. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight. I'm using another little ColourPop single eyeshadow. One is in Puppy Love. Now I'm going to be setting my face. This is MAC Fix Plus. This is like the only makeup product that I use that's tested on animals because I bought this a while ago and I'm gonna use it up. It's not like I'm just gonna throw it out and then I'm gonna not repurchase it because I'm trying to use makeup products that aren't tested on animals. Like everything else that I use in this video isn't tested on animals. I'm just going to take this little eyeliner. This is from Ulta, and I'm just gonna line like my top waterline or upper lash line. I don't really know what that's called. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and take the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and do my eyelashes. Shoot, I just freaking touched my face. And then my last step is my lips. I'm taking this little mini Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss. This is in the shade Kristen. I'm gonna have to buy full of this lip gloss whenever I run out of it because this lip gloss is so bomb. I feel like it really like, I don't know, it just looks good on my skin tone. You guys, I'm actually really loving the way that my makeup came out today. I feel like whenever I film a video, my makeup always comes out like really messed up for whatever reason, but today it looks so good. Even though this is literally like just my everyday makeup, it's just looking really good today, despite my skin looking like trash, so I'm happy. So that is all for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed getting ready with me. Wish me luck on taking my exam. Actually, it's too late for that. So wish that I get an easy grader for my exam, or actually, just like give me a round of applause for being the literal first person ever to get a 0 on the exam. Like on AP exams, you can't get a 0, you can get from like a 1 to like a 5 or a 6 or a 7, I don't really know. But I will be the first person to ever get a 0. Like, it's a world record. Like, it's not a good one, but like it's something. I mean, but yeah, but in all honesty, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe down below if you like this type of video and want me to do more videos like this. I feel like this was actually so fun. I've never done like a get ready with me, and I feel like this was actually a lot of fun. I also have been really loving my new background, and I feel like filming this video has made me like in a better mood and wanting to film like more videos. Have a wonderful day and good luck on all your exams, because I'm sure you guys have exams coming up too. Bye guys.